Pastor Roy Gearhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Well, I had a really special Sunday. I was blessed to have my whole family in church with me. Both of my daughters, my son-in-law, and both of my granddaughters. They were all there with us in church. And my kids all live at a distance, and so we don't get to have that experience very often. And on top of that, I had my younger daughter speaking in the pulpit for me yesterday morning here at Galloway. She had come and spoken at the Bloom Conference for Women on Saturday morning, and so I invited her to speak on Sunday morning as well. What a joy that was. I'd been able to have that joy of have invited my older daughter on a previous occasion to speak. But my younger daughter, she's evolved in her role and in God's calling in her life to where now she's ready to step up into the pulpit and be able to offer that gifting. And you know, what was really wonderful was to be able to sit there and listen to my daughter emphasize how important and powerful the Word of God is in our lives. And to be able to be obedient to God really opens the way to seeing God's faithfulness and His goodness being deposited into our lives. And not only that, but it was just a joy to be able to hear the response of other people. And in fact, I got to say, you know, it's nice whenever people compliment your kids and say that they got something good from you, right? It's really incredible to be able to feel like, hey, they're a chip off the old block when they're doing something really awesome. And I look at my kids and sometimes I'm just overjoyed to see them doing even better than I could do with life. And you know, there are those times though, whenever we look at our kids and feel the opposite, feel like, oh, I need to apologize to you for passing that trait on, because we don't always give our kids just our best. We give them sometimes our weaknesses, and they have to live out a legacy that has not always been favorable. And my daughter yesterday, well, she told a few behind the scenes stories about her dad, giving a little bit of that more personal view of who I am. And that can make me a little nervous, but she didn't throw me under the bus. She was really not unkind at all, but she did tell a couple of stories that, well, they were laughable, and they didn't just put me in the star quality experience, you know. That's a great reminder to me and to you that we do pass on a legacy. We have something that we're handing off to other people, whether they're our kids or our friends or coworkers or other people that we just have contact with in our life. And we can leave people with a bad taste in their mouth after dealing with us. Or we can pass on to them something that would inspire and it would motivate them forward. You know, as she talked about Moses in part yesterday, my daughter highlighted that experience that we talked about last week already, where Moses went out and struck the rock to bring forth water instead of speaking to it. And he was disobedient to God in that, because God had told him, just go and talk to the rock and it'll give up water. But instead, he struck that rock. He was in a moment where frustration and anger had risen up in him. And he did something even worse than just messing up the methodology. He really kind of stood there claiming to have saved the people, that he and Aaron were their heroes, instead of giving God the glory and really passing on to them a witness of God's faithfulness and goodness that they could rely on. And so Moses and Aaron get their rejection notice that they are not going to be the leaders who take the people into the promised land. So God didn't throw them out. He didn't condemn them to hell or anything like that, but he told them that you're going to miss some things. And that's kind of the way it works. You see, is that there are legacies that we pass on, and sometimes we don't pass on our best. And that doesn't mean that you're going to go to hell, but it does mean that you're going to have to live with some of that. And there are consequences that kind of roll out from that. It makes me motivated all the more to try to seek after God, to be on my game all the time. And I know I have to give myself some grace now and then, just like I have to give grace to others. But I want to be that faithful follower of Jesus who can pass on something that's worth retaining, to be someone that someone else will be inspired by and will be drawn to the Lord, not just drawn to follow after me, but drawn to see the goodness of God. And if I can pass that on to them, I've really passed on a legacy that can last forever. May God bless you today. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.